Yeah, so this is what happens when, your family abuses you and treats you like shit your whole life, you know? And then, as an adopted child, and then gives thousands of dollars, literally, and everything my brother needed, anything he wanted, everything he wanted. Gave him fucking everything. His whole fucking life. Alright? He never worked for anything. Everything was given to him. Never worked for a fucking thing his whole life. Alright? Everything. And it was who he knew. And that was about it. So, they treated me like shit. If they put as much money, time and money, into the things that I wanted to do in my life, gee, I would have been just as successful as Danny. But I wasn't because, nobody gave a shit about anything I did in my life. Okay? Growing up. It was what they wanted me to do. All the fundraising, all the cleaning, all the yard work, all the, and that's what they used. They used me, basically. Exactly what they did. And then, did all that shit to use me for Danny. Once again, for Danny. Because Danny never did any yard work. Danny never did any housework. Danny never did a fucking thing in his whole fucking life. So all these achievements and awards, and I mean that's what I worked for his whole fucking life, like growing up. All right, to send him to his competitions and all that stuff. They had me out.
It's 7 a.m.
Fundraising for my brother's music competitions. Had me doing all the fundraising. Like I said, it was my hard work, not his. All my hard work that paid for all the competitions that we went to and all that stuff every summer. My hard work, not his. He just played the guitar. Everyone else did all the hard work. I did all the hard work. Raising the fundraising, doing all the fundraising, selling all the candy bars and the donuts and, all that stuff. So, and what do I get credit for? Nothing. Nothing. No. And everyone treats me like shit. Like that. That gives them the right to treat me like shit. And that's what they did my whole life. And so that gives them the right, the rest of the family, to treat me like shit because, that's, what they do. Okay. And then, with all that abuse, and then making them, oh, well, Chuck will buy you a lawnmower and an edger, and you can go out and make your own money. And yeah, they didn't pay for anything. I paid for everything, all my dues and everything I wanted to do. You know, I had money, and it's because they bought me a lawnmower and an edger. Oh, here, Chuck, which they needed anyway because the one they had was shit for the yard, their own yard. So of course I had to do their yard too, and of course they didn't pay me for doing their yard. See, it's just ridiculous. People are fucking ridiculous. Like I said, if they put as much money into everything, horticulture and the career that I wanted to do, I could have opened up my own store or nursery or anything, with $50,000 that they just threw at my brother. I mean, it was more than that with all the music lessons, hundreds of dollars in music lessons every month. Um, it's very expensive. Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars thrown at my brother. And that's what made my brother successful in life. All my parents' money. Okay? That's what made him successful. Okay, because if they didn't have the money for the guitars and all the lessons, and they didn't have the money to do all that stuff, he'd be a big fat fucking nothing. That's the truth. He would have been a big fat fucking nothing in life. Yep, because that's what he was. A big fat fucking fucked nothing. That's what he was. Just like my sister. And that's all she does. She goes over there and uh, nursing and all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, my brother, and everything else. Like that's supposed to mean something. Doesn't mean anything. When those people treat everyone like shit, that's just so beneath them. Um, but it was all okay when I was doing all the work, right? Warner family, it was all okay when I was doing all the work. I was doing everything for you people and all the fundraising and all that shit. Yeah, oh yeah, it was everything was just perfectly fucking fine, wasn't it? Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. Yeah, until I started rebelling against all of it, which is what I did. Because I didn't, none of that stuff was for my benefit at all. None of it. It's all for them. Very selfish people. Yeah. And like I say, if they put that amount of money and time and everything into what I wanted to do, then I would have been just as successful as Danny in life. But I wasn't. I was used by them to make Danny a success. And, it's ridiculous. They didn't even use Mary that way. Only me. Nobody else. Then when I, you know, um, struggled through high school because I was working and going to school, pay for my car, that I wanted. Yeah, they were charging me $300 a month to live at home, plus my car and everything else. So, but once I got rid of those car payments, yeah, I was out of there and on my own, and I've been on my own ever since. So, yep, pretty much. Um, because they had me strapped to those car payments every month, and they made me finance my own car. I was like, you people aren't going to help me. Nope, wouldn't help me get my first car. Wouldn't help me get a car. They practically gave Danny and Mary their cars, and I had to. Well, I worked for mine for 5 years. I had to pay off that fucking thing. Financed it. It was very expensive. Like I said, they didn't treat me the same. They didn't do me right. They didn't do right by me, and they never did. It was always about themselves and always about Danny and how much. Look at how money they gave him, $50,000 to go to college, and then they said, "Well, we don't even want it back. We don't even want the money back." Just gave him that kind of money. I mean, if they threw that kind of money at me, I would have been just as successful as he was. But they didn't. They never did. So, it's the money that makes people successful like that. All right, so that's and using me to get to him to all the competitions and appeal, to get him the appeal award and all that stuff, right? Because I was doing all the fucking fundraising and all the work, not him. I did it all. So fuck the Warner family. Fuck you, Danny, and fuck you, Mary, and fuck you, whole fucking um, mother, all of the whole family, my immediate family, and anybody who treats me like I'm some kind of low life or something like that. You people are fucking the low lives. scumbags that fucking treated me like shit and used me my entire life growing up for Danny and what he wanted to do. And fuck you people. Yeah, I'm just fed up with all of it, really. People are just fucking disgusting. Despicable people. Yep. Absolutely disgusting, despicable people. Ugh. Makes me sick to my stomach, you people. Oh well. This place for you. Oh boy. Yeah, it's the way you treat other people. I can only hope and pray there's a place for people like that. The way they treated me. Yeah, very evil people. Even now. That's the way they treat me. Fucking evil. Alright. Let's see.